and welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole, a podcast brought to you by Justis.
Yeah.
I'm Aiden.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Stephen.
I'm Cody.
I'm Connor.
And I'm Elijah.
And if you were paying attention, there was a couple extra names in there this time.
Yep.
Yeah, we have Jacob and Connor with us today. Jacob is Stefan's brother, and Connor is Stefan's roommate / our friend. We got some pretty cool topics today, so we thought we should have some backup on this one. So what's the first topic today, Cody?
The first topic is the Georgia Guidestones. For those of you who don't know what that is, the Georgia
The Georgia Guidestones.
The Georgia Guidestones are a granite monument erected in 1980 in Elbert County, Georgia, in the United States. A set of 10 guidelines is inscribed on the structure in 8 modern languages, and a shorter message is inscribed at the top of the structure in 4 ancient language scripts. The monument is about 19 feet tall, and it's made of 6 granite slabs weighing 237,000 pounds.
That's pretty big.
Or for anyone not in America, that's 107,000 kilograms. And one of the trippier things about this is they don't really know who paid for it, who made it really. They know the company that made the granite.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, but they don't know who commissioned them to make it. It was just an anonymous name.
Yeah, what is inscribed as the name?
Robert C. Christian.
That's interesting. What is that? What is it called?
Surname?
No, it's like a code.
Under his name?
Yeah, isn't his name
Oh, a pseudonym?
Yeah.
Yeah. But on the monument, it doesn't actually say pseudonym, because it says pseudonym, which is misspelling it with an N at the end. And so people have theorized that if they spent all this money making this giant monument, why would they have it misspelled? So they think it's some sort of code in there, adding to the mystery.
I think there is. There's all kinds of weird things around it.
Mm-hmm. And onto the inscriptions, because there's 10 guidelines, it says on there.
Yeah.
And some of them are pretty trippy, pretty crazy.
A little creepy.
Yeah, the first one is maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature.
So wait, we have 8 billion right now?
We have 7, 8, maybe approaching 8 billion.
500 million.
Yeah, that's 9/10 of the world's population at least.
That's crazy. What?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, so whoever made these, they're probably pissed. They're listen. You guys are already
way too many people.
You're breaking the guidelines.
But yeah.
But that's interesting, that ending part of the sentence. Balance with nature, is that what it said?
Yeah, in perpetual balance with nature. That's really interesting.
That's kind of a cool way to put it.
The second guideline is pretty much just as weird. Is guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity.
So there should be
reproduction
rules?
Guidelines.
There's rules.
Yeah, rules to reproduction instead of everyone just being able to reproduce.
Basically what they did in China and shit.
Probably,
Yeah.
2 kids per household type
Dude, that
thing.
would be insane.
That would be insane.
Could you imagine our government doing that? You think
That'd
Trump
be
would do
crazy.
something like that?
I don't
Dude,
know.
imagine, but...
If there'd be any
imagine.
president to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. I'm not even gonna speak on that.
Yeah. I'm like,
The third guideline is actually really interesting. It's unite humanity with a living new language. And one of the theories people talk about with that one is that coding and machine code and the internet is this universal language that is uniting humanity right now.
Ones and zeros.
Ones and zeros,
Code.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Ones and zeros.
So we got one of the guidelines, right? We're doing good.
I mean, that's how it's. I don't know if we want to follow all these guidelines though.
They're kind of creepy.
That's crazy.
The fourth one is rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason.
Tempered reason.
I like that one. Say that one more time.
Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason.
So keep a balance.
Yeah, because these guidelines are supposed to be like the guidelines to an age of reason or something like that. So they talk about reason a lot.
One world government, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that maybe
Uh-oh.
later on. The next one is protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts, which, yeah, I think we can all get behind that one. At least.
That's
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But fair is key.
And number 6 is let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court, which kind of sounds like
What you just said.
like a world government
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
That's crazy.
But I don't know. I mean, I guess if it's to unite us,
Mm-hmm.
but still, there should be diversity, right? I mean,
I
I
think
want to
there
go
should be.
to different parts of the world and it be different.
Yeah.
There should be
Yeah.
different culture.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you.
And then the next one is actually a pretty reasonable one, which is avoid petty laws and useless officials.
I like that
How
one.
can we do that today, though?
Ooh,
I
it's
mean-
gonna take some work to
Yeah.
get that one going.
You have to go vote.
Exactly. Look, show the
You
sticker.
got the sticker on today. You
Yeah.
hear that? Oh, look at that shirt
Oh.
you're repping too.
What is that?
Oh, a little
Oh,
sneak
dude.
peek.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe some merchandise in the future.
Let's see if I can turn it all the way around.
Yeah, there's the back.
Can you see it?
Yeah,
A little bit. It's not perfect.
shows up good.
Yeah.
So what's the next guideline?
Balance personal rights with social duties. That's one that sounds like super vague and like it could literally mean anything.
Yeah, you could interpret that in a lot of
What do you
different
guys
ways.
believe your personal rights are?
That's a hard question.
I don't know.
Because then you take that and then you just balance that with the social duties that you're supposed to do for the society.
So
So like what rights? do
first you
guys
have to
feel-
really define the difference between the two. What is it? So things that you have to do, things that you're expected to do. But that I don't know.
No, I
'cause
think
that
it's more
seems
like things you can do, and
Things you should
things you like. Yeah, things you should do.
Oh, okay.
Things
That
you
makes
could
sense.
and things you should.
Things you could and things you should. Okay. Well, and like we said, you can interpret it in so many different ways.
But something that also goes along with that is things you can't do. It's like you have to. There's like all kinds of different angles that like you have to look at that
Yeah.
question with.
So
Interesting.
make up for the things that you can't do, or not.
What do you mean?
Because personal rights is all about like boundaries, and you never know like where it is until it's challenged.
Personal rights. That's something to think about.
Because we all have them. I think a lot of people forget that we do.
Yeah.
Like freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech, yeah.
That's interesting. I'm gonna be thinking about that one for a while.
And the next one's pretty cool, I think. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
See-
It almost
Seeking-
reminds me of like something to do with space.
Yeah.
The universe.
Seeking
Like the
harmony
infinite
with the
universe
infinite.
out there.
Yeah, it's
Being
like
one with the universe.
go out there and explore and make friends.
Yeah.
That's
Hope
what I
they're
hear.
friendly.
Yeah. Hope they're friendly to you.
Yeah.
Is that all of them?
No, there's one last one which is really interesting. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. And it actually says that twice. Yeah.
That's interesting that the whole nature thing comes back.
It does. It's like full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're really trying to say overpopulation and overuse of resources
Mm-hmm.
is what the problem is.
Have we ever
Yeah.
thought like this was any all spiritual? because like if this
I feel like whoever created this probably was pretty spiritual.
because if
Yeah.
you take it from a spiritual point of view, it is more like, I don't know, have oneness on earth.
Mm-hmm.
Like it almost like if you read exactly the words properly on the list, it kind of like it's crazy. They have like
Yeah.
very
Mhm.
precise sentences.
It reminds me almost like the Ten Commandments or
Yeah,
something like
that's
that.
the feeling I get off of
Yeah,
it.
has that
But
kind of vibe.
some like super religious people, like when this was first put up, some super religious people thought it was like the 10 Commandments of the Antichrist and like a satanic monument, like all this crazy stuff.
That's interesting.
What?
That's,
Yeah.
wow. Huh. They really took
They
that
went
and
hardcore into the protesting of it. Like
Yeah.
people tried to destroy it and stuff.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
shit. It says basically kill off. Yeah, like 9/10
9/10
of the
of the earth.
fucking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a time capsule.
Yeah, there's a time capsule underneath that they actually, the date it was buried printed on there and the date to be opened both aren't printed on there, but there's a spot for it to be put. So it's like date buried blank, date to be opened blank.
Dude, one day, what if it just appears?
Exactly. That's like the theory.
That'd be creepy.
That'd be insane.
Yeah,
That's
and isn't
insane.
there like some conspiracies and people are worried that there might be some kind of biological weapon
Yeah, underneath.
in the time capsule?
To accomplish the first guideline. Yeah.
That's
It gets
so
down to the
scary.
5 million people.
You know,
Maybe that's why no one's opened it yet.
well, I honestly think everyone's waiting to figure out a sign of when the date is. But that reminds me of the cube, the missing cube
Mm-hmm.
in one of the blocks.
Yeah, in the block that has the English language, because there's 8 different languages on there. Maybe I should list those off real quick.
Right, also.
It says the same thing in 8 different languages.
And then
Yeah, it
ancient-
has 8 different languages. It is English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are the other ones? The ancient.
The ancient ones, let me try to find them.
The ancient ones.
The ancient ones, dang.
So the cube the missing spot, right?
Yeah, over the English text. There
The
was- But suddenly there was a cube.
Yeah.
In 2014, a cube appeared in that spot. And it had like inscripted on the side that was visible 20.
when was it? 2014.
2014.
Wow.
So it was like
When
That
was
was
Fortnite
like-
it was like
created?
34 years after.
Well,
put
Fortnite
that.
was created in like 2010 or something. Or I think earlier than that.
Because the cube appears in Fortnite.
Has
Oh, yeah.
anyone tried to use those numbers to like come up with dates or anything?
People have run all kinds of like number and like anagram generators through everything
Yeah.
on it, and like one of the thing they found was the guy's name, Robert C. Christian, and the part where it says that it's a pseudonym with the misspelling of
Right.
it having an N at the end. That's an anagram of untarnished conspiracy.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Untarnished.
So it gives like
conspiracy.
that's the theory on why it's like misspelled like that is so they can have it as a code, an anagram. So
We gotta
have it
figure
be
out what's in
relevant
that
to
time capsule.
people have tried to open it. Like there's spots of it that are like jacked up and shit. And,
It's
like,
gonna
people have
take,
tried
like, a
to use
community
It's
carjacker.
gonna be the chosen one. Only the chosen one can open it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with pulling the sword out of the stone.
Yeah.
Man, what if like the right person just stood there, and it started opening up? That'd be super
insane.
creepy.
One giant leap
Yeah.
before humanity.
But see, I almost wonder if opening it up is what they want us to do and what could have the answers. Because if we open it up, we'll know when it was buried.
Mm-hmm.
And we will know when we opened it.
Mm-hmm.
You catch what I'm saying? So it's
I
like
feel you.
the very act of forcing the knowledge is going to give us both of those numbers. And who knows, maybe those numbers are another key to something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just conspirulating.
Conspirulating.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's my new word.
Oh yeah, put that on a t-shirt. TM.
TM. Damn, man, that's crazy. So I don't know. Do you have anything else to give it before we move on to the next topic?
Not that I can think of.
Super creepy though.
It is. It's pretty strange.
I'm gonna have to go on a documentary hunt on YouTube.
So at this point in
Later on.
2018, it's 38 years old.
38 years old?
Yeah, it's been up for 38 years.
That's not that old.
It's not at all.
Huh.
1980.
1980. Yeah.
So whoever created it, and I'm assuming it wasn't one person, you know, it was probably like
he said it
a
was
group.
on behalf of a group of loyal Americans.
Loyal Americans.
Yeah.
Where's that title coming from?
That's just what they reported.
Interesting.
He said a small group of loyal Americans.
Vatican's.
That even adds to the creep factor a little bit.
Cause like, just imagine like, if there was anything like any agent from another country or like anything from space or like anything just like that was here, and they had to like give a reason for something.
Mhm.
It's like I'm just a loyal or whatever like the country is like as the most like obvious terrible try to sneak excuse ever. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Creepy stuff, dude. So, I'm eager to get to the next topic.
Okay.
Ancient astronaut theories. So first I want to start with one you mentioned yesterday. It was
Venus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
because
caught my
Venus.
attention.
They found that Venus used to be very similar to Earth many years ago. But
Many moons ago.
yeah. But then basically like the atmosphere of Venus has like greenhouse gas effect in it, so that boiled away all the water in the atmosphere.
Hmm. See, I heard similar things about Mars. That maybe there was like a nuclear war. That like, and they
That's why we're so
basically,
eager to go back.
and they like evaporated their what's it called? Around the atmosphere.
ozone?
Oh,
Yeah.
the
So they
atmosphere.
destroyed their atmosphere through like nuclear warfare and that kind of thing, and then came down to Earth and mated with the Neanderthals and made humans, and that kind of thing.
Like-
I've heard that, but what I think is the most plausible. I'm not saying I totally believe in ancient aliens and that kind of thing, but to me the most compelling is the Mesopotamian tablets.
Oh, the clay tablets.
Yeah, the clay. Where are they from?
Samaria?
Ancient Samaria. Those tablets. So that's the first civilized society, right, of
Yeah, the
humans,
Sumerians.
going way back, even before the Egyptians, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And they
Go
give
with the Anunnakis.
The
they-
Anunnaki.
they give a history of where humans came from that is like mind-blowing. Like we came from a star system, I think they say. I don't really exactly remember what star system it is.
What were you just talking about? Yeah.
What
Wait,
was it?
Orion?
It might have been Orion. I'm not 100% sure though.
I just heard some stuff that would.
But yeah, so they come down to Earth, right? And they combined their DNA with the Neanderthal DNA on Earth to create the perfect slaves. And the thought is maybe they had us mine things like gold, because
Yeah,
gold is
I've
very
heard that.
precious.
Mhm.
And
It's used in
How to
space
build a
travel a
pyramid.
lot for
Exactly.
circuitry.
Yeah, it's very lightweight. It's super conductible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's lightweight. I just know
It's
they
pretty
make it very
soft.
thin. It's
Yeah.
very malleable,
Mm-hmm.
I should say. So I think that's a really trippy theory because it ties in with a lot of religious stories, you know, almost as if it was interpreted differently,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I don't know, I find it comforting because it makes me feel like we're not alone. You know what I
I
mean?
feel that.
And maybe our creators we're just some aliens, and that's why we don't hear from them. You know what I mean?
Yep, they just came and gone.
And they're done. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they needed our gold. They created some slaves that would work well for them, and now they're gone.
It's like Stargate.
Stargate.
Yeah, have you ever seen that?
They
movie?
probably
Yeah,
helped us
dude,
with
that's-
that. Supposed to.
No.
Dude, check it out. I think it's on Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Did you guys ever watch the show Ancient Aliens?
Yeah.
History Channel?
All of
with
them.
the guy who like that with like the Oompa Loompa hair and like the
Oh,
crazy tan.
Oh, yeah.
Astronauts, theorists.
I like that show, dude.
Aliens. That was like the meme of it.
Aliens. I don't know, dude.
Mars was home.
See, what if there was some type of intelligent life that formed on Venus and a different type of life that formed on Mars, and they came together on Earth?
Because they were both in harm's way of whatever was
Exactly.
happening to both planets.
Exactly.
And they met in the middle.
Or, yeah. That makes sense.
So, does anyone have anything further to add to the ancient astronaut theories?
I do.
You got excited.
Yeah, there's a tribe in Africa.
Oh.
Oh,
That it's
I
the
think I know where you're going.
the Dogon African tribe, and they have like their oral history of their tribe is that I can't remember if either they came from a certain star system or they were visited from something from that star system, but they actually had an accurate model and knew the location of this like specific star system centuries before modern telescopes could even find the location.
That's super interesting.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
crazy.
insane. Because it's like it's the Sirius star system, and it's like two planets, or I mean, two stars like orbiting with each other.
What are they called? The Dogons?
The Dogon.
That's a
African
cool name,
tribe.
by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty
Think about
dope.
it. What if that's like positive and negative energy just swirling around each other, keeping
Yeah.
a positive and negative balance
Mhm.
in
The
the
yin and
universe.
the yang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think this stuff needs to be taken a look at with a very serious eye, because correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it said that the human race started in Africa? You know,
yeah,
and then
you learn that in biology.
yeah,
in
and
high
that's
school.
where
That's
Sumeria
the cradle of
is.
life. Well, no. Well, Sumeria and like Mesopotamia and all that. That's more like Middle East.
Oh, okay.
But what they say is that Africa is like the cradle of life, where life started.
and then it migrated out
and then,
from
yeah,
there.
and then like Mesopotamia is like the cradle of civilization.
Oh, okay, interesting. That actually makes sense. So what I'm saying is, if they're all saying this is what happened in the beginning, then why are we not listening to them, but we're listening to everyone that came after them, that said, organized religion, and take whatever one you want from around the world. But the point is, why don't we go far back to the beginning, what they were saying,
Well,
and take that serious?
Actually, something happened recently, similar to
Uh-oh.
what you're saying. There is a northern Canadian tribe.
Okay.
Like a
Canadian tribe.
Yeah, like I think it's like Inuit
Eh?
people.
Okay.
I don't know the proper term. I hope that's the right term.
All right.
Uh,
That's okay.
and they like part of their history is that like super far back during the Ice Age, there was a part of Canada, like that area, that didn't freeze, where they were able to survive and go out to sea and everything.
What?
And they actually like someone decided, okay, yeah, you know what? Maybe we should look at this. And they did. It was like this certain island.
Mm-hmm.
And so they did like an archaeological dig on there, and they found evidence that was true. And even more than that is it was evidence that dates further back from when they thought humans first arrived in North America.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
That's trippy.
That's crazy. That really blows my mind. See, the older you get, the more I start to learn we don't know shit.
We don't.
Yeah.
Like
We don't.
we don't know.
It's so many things.
Everything's a
interpreted
guess
from
when it comes down to
thousands
it.
of
You know what I
years.
mean? Unless you carbon date something, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
You can't know for sure, and that's only things you can do with like fossils and that kind of thing.
And the more radiation though that we put into our atmosphere and shit, like with nukes
Mhm.
or with like other things like that, it actually affects carbon dating.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think what it is it's like all the stuff from before is still okay. We can carbon date that, but everything from this point on is gonna be fucked.
So the global warming is really hurting us.
Yeah, the global warming and like the
Georgia
nuclear...
Guidestones warned us, man.
Yeah.
Man.
And it all came back to that.
Yep, full circle, man.
Yeah.
That's how we do it down the rabbit hole.
Full circles.
Yep, got loops and twists everywhere.
Fruit Loops and Full Circle Breweries.
Yeah.
Not
You know,
sponsored.
if we did come from the stars, from another star system, a super advanced civilization, it would make sense why they would come check on us every once in a while in secret.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we're almost like a project to
And
them.
they probably do probe
And they're
us.
No,
watching,
some people think that's
studying.
what the moon is. It's like it's their little like watch center on us.
I feel like you've mentioned that to me before.
I believe.
It's like a
I
Death
can
Star.
believe that, dude.
It's like a Death Star.
It's the Death Star, man.
And it's the thing that protects us from like asteroids and stuff.
It is.
Yeah. Cuz like even if it doesn't like block the asteroids, what it does is it messes up like the gravitational pulls of stuff that it can like
We need
redirect
more
it from the
moons.
direct impacts and stuff like
We
that.
need
Like
more
it helped
moons.
life.
This is
So-
kind of a super side tangent, but you remind me because of the moon. Did you know Pluto's like way smaller than the moon?
Oh, dude, it's tiny. And
Isn't
it
that
actually,
crazy?
dude,
That's
and
tight.
it and its one moon it has orbit each other. Because they're so like small.
Right.
It's not just one orbiting the other. It's like
Yeah, dude. So it's
a
like,
co-orbit.
because
It
at
looks
first,
like
you know, I was like, man, that does suck that they don't consider Pluto a planet anymore.
I
But
think
then when
they
you think about
redid
it, if we don't consider
Did
our
they?
moon a planet, then why would we consider Pluto a planet?
Dude, there's actually an extra planet in our solar system.
Where I never
It just
heard
doesn't
about
follow a normal
it.
orbit.
Planet X.
It's like just out of
It's
our
shitty.
solar system. I
No,
think.
dude, what it does is
Like-
it follows like a weird horseshoe pattern. Like, let me see if I can find it.
I think I
Whoa.
heard Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about this. But what it is it? That's not Planet X, is it?
I don't know. I was just kidding.
Is that what? Is that
Planet
what people
X is like
nickname
a
it?
Anunnaki something conspiracy that they're supposed to come back.
Yeah, their planet is
It's
gonna
some
come back, bro.
Nibiru.
Yeah, Nibiru. Yeah.
Yeah, that was all the clay tablets, all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it's all that stuff,
Dude, we
dude.
should talk
Nah.
about the clay
Is
tablet.
it?
Yeah, I swear.
We should talk about what's on
Yeah.
the clay tablet. Tower.
The clay tablets.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are trippy.
Yeah, compare the
It tells the
tablets and
story
stuff.
of mankind and
I'm gonna throw up.
where we came from.
Hey, Stefan.
You know, I can't find
Hit the
anything,
Rolo.
so we might have to save it possibly for a future
Oh, thank you, sir.
podcast.
That's
We
cool.
can dive into that one.
That's cool. What do you got on the clay tablets over here?
The Sumerian clay tablet. So the Sumerians were the Anunnakis were the first ones, right?
So I think the Sumerians were the people that wrote about the Anunnaki. The
Yeah, the
Anunnaki
Anunnaki
were the
were gods.
aliens.
They're their own race.
Because yeah,
Alien/God, yeah.
But they were like in human form though, weren't they?
Well, they combined
Like they
their
were
DNA. Some of them mated with the humans, though, and had hybrids called Nephilim. See, that even ties back to the
Yeah.
Bible and
Yeah, it
everything.
does. There's Nephilims in the Bible.
But yeah, and I think it even says that they're the ones that like combined their DNA with ours to make a slave race.
And isn't there something in like the Sumerian tablets about how like the gods waged war in the skies?
Yeah.
And it was something similar to like nuclear
Bro,
warfare.
That's in some hieroglyphics, bro. Like they're like ancient hieroglyphics,
And-
but they're pictures of helicopters and nuclear bombs and shit, like modern day technology. But they're in ancient hieroglyphics.
Damn.
I think the Egyptians were the last ones to know about all this,
Yeah.
the real history, you know? Like, I think it was the Egyptians who told... So Plato was the one who talked about Atlantis, right?
Yeah.
I
he
believe
was a
it's the
Greek
Egyptians
philosopher.
who told Plato about Atlantis.
I
and-
think so.
Yeah, so Atlantis was one of the first civilizations, and they were super advanced because they were direct descendants from this Anunnaki.
Weren't those
Mhm.
the
Human.
Pleiadians or something?
The
Huh?
what?
They're called the. There's some. Never mind.
I don't
Something
know. I
else.
can't find what they say on them.
It's a lot. And honestly, I recommend like watching a documentary or something on them because they're
Yeah.
super interesting. But it is a lot, and it's a lot to go through. But it's a really good story. Like a lot of people, there's some good videos on YouTube. People do like some good animations and that kind of thing, and they like tell the story very well.
But yeah, it says shit about alien life.
Mm-hmm.
So, from Nibiru.
Yes, that's the planet.
Does it say?
Planet X, dude. I don't know which planet is Planet X.
I don't know.
It's just a big planet, right? The big planet that's supposed to come by.
That was supposed to happen a while ago, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it did already, and that's why the Mandela effect is in play, because we got thrown to an alternate reality, and that's why all
talked
these
about
rappers are
Mandela
different,
Yeah.
and that's why the whole world is just not how it used to feel, like a couple years ago.
They're messing with the space-time continuum. Man. Dude, speaking of space-time continuum, the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh yeah.
Dude, do you so I
Yes.
kind of a segue into a new topic, right? Do you think that in the Bermuda Triangle the laws of physics get kind of weird? Maybe space-time is getting a little wonky?
You know,
A little
it's
wacky.
not surprising because they've actually found, like, you know, maybe there's like deep trenches in there because they've actually found like trenches and mountains can affect
Trenches?
the local gravity levels of an area. So maybe
Whoa.
like underwater that can happen.
What if it is Atlantis?
It might be
So
like
submarines
minute, but if
and
there's
boats?
like, you know, underwater with like tons, I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Yeah. I wonder when the last one to be lost at the Bermuda Triangle. I wonder when that was, the last
that?
incident. I think Cody's gonna look it up for us. Or
I
at
am-
least
I'm
try.
looking at it. It looks like, okay, there's an alternate page, list of Bermuda Triangle accidents.
Wow.
Wow. See, thank goodness for the
I
internet.
see one from May 2017, 2015.
What? No way.
Yeah.
What does it mean by
2017.
it? Like someone got lost?
Let me see. The one from May 15th, 2017. A private MU-2B aircraft was at 24,000 feet when it vanished from radar and radio contact with air traffic controllers in Miami. Plane wreckage was found.
Really?
Yeah.
And so was the pilot found?
Doesn't say.
Probably if the plane wreckage was found. Well, I don't know. Maybe they ejected.
That seems
That's
like an
still
alien
pretty
fortress.
creepy.
And I see other things like even like 2005, 2007, 2017. Like there's disappearances and like reports of mechanical and electrical problems, and that's
So it's a reoccurring problem.
and right now that list was just aircraft incidents.
Not even to mention boats. Would you? Okay, honest
In
question.
2015, a boat sank off the coast of the Bahamas. Because for people who don't know, like where the Bermuda Triangle exactly is,
Mhm.
it is the triangle like that forms between the points of the bottom of Florida, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda.
Okay.
Let's go.
What were you
Yeah.
saying?
So yeah, a serious question. Would you guys, if you were offered to sign an expedition to take a boat or a giant ship into the Bermuda Triangle, would you do it?
Oh yeah.
I think I would, yeah.
Just to drive
No.
through it and get some cool video footage.
It's actually a very frequently used shipping lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes me wonder then, maybe I wonder if we looked up other areas if incidents is happening. You know what I mean?
Are these all like they're around at the same time of year?
No, it's like hella spread out.
Really?
Yeah.
Going back a long time.
I'm gonna look up areas similar to Bermuda Triangle. See what that brings up.
Oh, like other areas people are disappearing?
Yeah. I know there's a beach in Canada where they keep finding random human feet.
What? That's
Whoa,
really
yeah,
weird.
But none of them match.
That's even weirder.
They're like, we found a foot.
Yeah.
And then the next day they're
That's
like, oh, I found the
depressing.
other foot. Wait, they're both left feet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really creepy, dude.
But they found like this is gonna be very different numbers, but either 13 or 30. Those two numbers very understandable for the confusion though. That's not what I wanted.
What are you looking up over there?
I was trying to find places similar to Bermuda
You took
Triangle.
me to a
but it just-
vacation website?
Yeah, like it brought me to vacation websites
Oh.
and stuff. So
You wanna go to
I'm okay
Bermuda?
with
Internet
that.
for you. AdSense.
So did Amelia Earhart, did she get lost in the Bermuda Triangle?
I think she got lost near Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. I have a page open on her already.
Oh, how convenient.
Yeah.
It's like the cooking show when they already have something made.
Yeah.
You're like,
It
and in
is.
30 minutes.
Supposedly, there's this guy who flew over the North Pole. Have you guys heard about that one?
Mm-mm.
Made it over the ice walls?
His name is
Oh,
Admiral
it's-
Byrd.
Admiral?
Admiral Byrd. It's pretty interesting.
Oh no, what's it?
So tell us about Amelia Earhart.
So where she was when she disappeared was near the Papua New Guinea Islands.
Papua New Guinea?
Yeah, and that is in like the Pacific Ocean. Or it was she was flying from an old World War like 1 or 2 base.
Okay. And she was trying to fly around the world, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Which I think she had already done, hadn't she?
No, she had made a solo trip across the Pacific.
Oh, okay.
And she was the first woman to do so.
Mm.
Because a few years before that, there was another guy, I can't think of his name now. But he was the first man. And then a few years later, she was the first woman.
She was definitely a frequent flyer.
Oh, yeah.
And then she just disappeared. And it's super creepy, too. I think, like, they even have, like, her last, like,
She planned it.
radio messages recorded.
Really?
Yeah, and if I'm remembering correctly, like, they're kind of creepy.
Okay.
They leave you wondering, like, if she saw something almost.
Really?
Yeah. Did they ever find, like, the wreckage or anything? Or they just
They've found...
no trace?
Like, they've never found it officially, but there's, like, you know, all the, like, the conspiracy, like, oh, maybe this wreckage was it, maybe this wreckage,
Right.
you know, maybe this wreckage, but you can never know for sure unless you find, like, something that legitimately points to that wreckage being Amelia Earhart.
The ocean is so big, though, dude. Like, we could never find it. We
There's
probably
some
never
people
will.
who think she somehow ended up in, like, Africa or something.
Like, started
Oh,
a new
yeah.
life, or what?
Oh, wasn't there a
don't
picture
know.
of her supposedly?
I don't know.
I seen that.
I feel like every conspiracy theory involves, like, there was a picture of them in Africa.
Like, yeah, well, it wasn't in Africa, but there was a picture of Tupac somewhere.
Oh, like
and-
Cuba.
Yeah, I think
Oh, yeah,
that's
Cuba.
There's a whole like album of Tupac that's supposed to be Tupac.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's under a different name or something,
yeah.
right?
But it sounds
What
exactly
was it,
like
Purple
him.
Haze or something?
Something.
Purple haze.
Sounds exactly like him.
Really?
Yeah.
The Bang Bros.
Well, man, I hope.
What?
the Bang drink.
Yeah.
Purple
Zero,
Haze.
zero everything.
Not sponsored.
Oh my god.
I wonder. I almost kind of hope Amelia Earhart like just ended up somewhere and like started a new life.
Wow, I'm about to not help that
About
thought.
to burst your bubble,
Oh,
buddy.
man.
There's a theory that she was captured by Japanese forces.
Whoa.
Yeah, after somehow navigating to somewhere within the Japanese South Pacific Mandate.
Oh, I heard about that one too.
Like they took her out. Is that
Yeah,
what
like
they
they're
think?
executed when their aircraft crashed on the island of Saipan,
Damn.
part of the Northern Mariana Islands archipelago.
Oh, I don't
That's
know.
one of
You
the
died.
theories.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's so sad. I like my theory better, of her.
I do too,
believe
running
honestly.
running away somewhere and starting a new life. She's like, you know what? I'm already famous.
Maybe
I
she
lived the
wanted to,
dream."
maybe she wanted to get away with her co-pilot from her husband or something.
Oh, was she with a co-pilot?
Yeah, she was with a co-pilot for the around the world trip. It wasn't
I
a
didn't
solo
know
trip.
that.
It was just straight up going to be the first woman to fly around the world, but she was going to have a co-pilot for safety, and they still
For safety. Well, I don't think it worked out.
it didn't.
Yeah, maybe they did run away together and start a new life. That'd be a cool movie.
Yeah.
A cool take on the
What if
Amelia
co-pilot
Earhart
was an
story.
alien?
That would.
Don't say
Well,
that.
someone created.
Can't say the truth. I'm just
Well, you know what, man? We are coming close to
Okay.
a good time mark. So, unless anyone has anything further to say on Amelia Earhart, Ancient Aliens,
Not that I can think
or
of.
Georgia Guidestones, or Bermuda Triangle. We talked about a lot of things today, huh?
We did, yeah. We covered even more than just that too, just from our tangents and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do, man. We go down
See,
the rabbit
yeah.
hole, bro.
Oh yeah,
That's what this is.
always.
Well, anything else from you gentlemen before we give this one a
Well,
close?
just- social
thank
media.
you for having me.
Yeah.
That was,
Oh yeah,
that
man. It
cool.
was awesome to have you
Yeah,
two on the
thanks for-
podcast
I
today.
really enjoyed
Thanks
it.
for being here, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Connor and Jacob.
No problems.
And the social medias, want to give
Yeah,
us a shout out?
on Facebook and Instagram, it's at Justice Band, and on Twitter, it's at Injustice We Stand.
Yeah. Well, have a good week, everyone.
You the
We'll
best.
catch you on the flip.
Alright, I'm out.
Ladies and the